everyone, and welcome back to this week's Morning Buzz. I'm Isabel Mara. This week's COVID-19 Heroes feature takes a look at the great job that grocery store employees have been doing during this unprecedented time.
Every week, we will be highlighting those who are on the front lines of the fight against the COVID-19 outbreak. This week, we wanted to say thank you to the grocery store employees during this time. Due to the pandemic, grocery stores have been packed with shoppers, so stores have implemented occupancy limits and are requiring that shoppers practice social distancing. Even with these rules, grocery store employees still have to deal with the risk of coming into contact with the virus. Thousands of employees have been affected with the virus, so if you visit a grocery store, make sure that you thank them for all that they're doing. Remember to stay safe and practice social distancing to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
June is Pride Month. Let's take a look at this video from Spectrum.
Spectrum, Hopewell's Gender and Sexuality Alliance, wants you to know that June is Pride Month. Pride Month is a celebration of the LGBTQ+ community, but it also marks the anniversary of the 1969 Stonewall Uprising. Although it's hard to imagine now, being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer used to be considered a crime. And police frequently raided bars and arrested LGBTQ+ individuals.
But on June 28, 1969, at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, people resisted. This was followed by 6 days of protests that set off the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Today, Pride Month is a joyful celebration of the diversity of the LGBTQ+ community and is recognized by both gay and straight people around the world.
Allies can play an important role in supporting LGBTQ+ students. While Hopewell can often seem like an accepting and safe place, queer students often feel a certain layer of anxiety surrounding their identities because we never really know how someone will react to who we are. Having allies who are willing to be vocal and outgoing about their support really makes us feel that much safer and is really important to building up the community.
Earlier this year, the Photography Club teamed up with Spectrum to create a photo series about teachers who are LGBTQ+ allies. In honor of Pride Month, we thought we'd share these with you.
Happy Pride Month!
At the end of every year, AP Spanish raises money for a Latin American organization as part of College Board's AP and We Community Service Project. Let's take a look at that. Rios de Agua Viva is an organization based out of San Feo Church in Panama, where children and families rely on farming and raising stock in order to feed themselves. The Siri community does not have access to electric light and the closest school is a long walk away. The organization is looking for donations in order to buy school supplies, some clothing, and small gifts for holidays. Above all, Rios de Agua Viva aims to teach the people the ways of the Lord through acts of service. You can help by donating on our GoFundMe page and encouraging others to do the same.
Now, let's check out a cool project art students have been working on this spring. Art students created reproductions of famous works of art using everyday objects from around their homes. This assignment was inspired by a challenge from the Getty Museum posted on social media. Here's a look at the result. Great job, everyone, and congratulations on contributing to this really cool magazine.
Just because we're in quarantine doesn't mean we can't stay connected. Here's a look at some highlights from a Culture Connections presentation on Japan.
I wanted to start by sharing a Japanese lunch. So I made a very simple lunch. This is a Japanese lunchbox. It's called obento. So you may have heard in restaurants like bento box. That's where it comes from. It's called obento. And it's wrapped in this fabric just to keep everything together. A lot of times in Japan, we don't have a lot of disposable things. That's just cultural. Well, there are a lot of disposable things, but at least for lunches, we don't really throw away stuff. So it comes wrapped up in this fabric that most families have. So when you open it, let's see, try to open it here. It just opens up. And you have your obento. This is the bento box. And you have your little chopsticks. And chopsticks, this is for taking it with you to places. Usually every kid has this, it's their own thing. So you open it up, and there's your chopsticks. It's in this box so that you can keep it together and keep it nice and clean. These are just regular chopsticks. And then the bento box, you open it. This is what I made, so it's very simple and crude. But usually there's some kind of rice. This is rice balls. It's very common in Japan. Everybody eats it. Everybody loves it. It's really simple to make. You just take medium grain rice. You wet your hands so that it doesn't get sticky. You put a little bit of salt on your hands to give the rice a little flavor, and you just make a ball or whatever shape you want to make. So it's called onigiri. And then here I just have some chicken, some vegetables, and an apple. So this is a very simple lunchbox. When we start eating lunch or any meal, do you remember what we usually say, Terrence?
Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu, that's right. So before every meal, it's sort of like saying grace. We put our hands together and we say itadakimasu. And what that means is, literally translated, it doesn't translate very well, but you're graciously receiving. And I think that's what it means. But I had to ask my mom when I was little, like, what does it really mean? And what she told me was that you're basically thanking everybody and everything that went into preparing the food. So you're thanking your mother who made the food. You're thanking the farmer who grew the vegetables. You're thanking the rice farmer who grew the rice. And also you're thanking the people who brought the rice probably from California all the way to New Jersey. And you're thanking the chicken. So you're thanking everybody, and also whoever you believe in up there. So it's just something simple that you say at the beginning of a meal, itadakimasu, and just saying thanks to the whole production chain. So that is our lunch, and that is a very common lunch.
This week's Bulldog Buddies belong to TV1 student John Johan.
This is Diamond and Yankee. Diamond can be found in the morning rolling around on the floor, while Yankee can be found sleeping on his Yankee blanket. They're both twins and get along fairly well. Diamond has a soft, gray, black and brown, medium-length fur, and his brother has short, black and soft fur. Diamond is a European Shorthair breed, while his brother is a Bombay cat breed. They were both born on May 6, 2017, and they were both rescues. Diamond and Yankee do not usually get along with their friend Coconut because he likes to eat their food. Diamond and Yankee usually eat when Coconut is on his walks. During the afternoon, Diamond can be found with his head in the water bowl, while Yankee can be found playing with his mouse toy in the hallway. Thanks, John, for sharing Diamond and Yankee with us. Juniors, you have not been forgotten. In lieu of a traditional junior prom, we're hosting a virtual Spirit Week from June 8th to June 12th. Check your messages on Encourse for more information about chances to earn gift cards to local businesses or even choose your parking spot next year. Please follow at HV Class of 2021 on Instagram for daily updates.
Well, that's all for this week, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.